Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
Are you a film fan who loves the ultimate home video experience? Look no further than The Disconnected. Your host, Ryan Verrill, is your go-to source for the latest and most accurate information on home video releases, exclusive interviews with industry insiders and filmmakers, and has established a thriving community where every film and physical media enthusiast feels welcome. From hidden gems to blockbuster hits, The Disconnected brings you insider knowledge and a welcoming space to share your love of cinema. Watch every Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific for the live announcements show and follow The Disconnected on social media to stay updated. Subscribe to The Disconnected on YouTube or on the podcast provider of your choice and dive into a world where every movie night is an adventure.
Wake Up Heavy is a Weirding Way media podcast.
Eat shit and live, Bill.
I bet those cops have got Scmods.
Scmods? Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct pleasure of the management to present to you the evening star attraction. Here they are, back after their...
Welcome to Wake Up Heavy, the world's greatest horror movie podcast.
And the subcontinent. Won't you welcome from Calumet City, Illinois, the show band.
On this episode, my weird dad and I will be talking about
the Blues Brothers.
Hello and welcome back to Wake Up Heavy. It's been a while, and it's been a while since my very special guest has been on, over half a year now, on the Back to School episode.
Yep.
So welcome to my special guest.
Hi,
Cleo. And we're actually going to have some of the same stuff from back then. I just kind of listened through that episode and was like, oh, we talked about this back then, and now we finally watched it.
The return of the dongle.
And we found the dongle.
Yay!
The right dongle this time. So I'm going to just use all the same clips from that episode, including the dongle clip. So let's insert that right now.
Dongle feels good to me. Dongle is fun, isn't it? Dongle sounds like a good time. Yeah, I'm a big fan of dongle. What does a dongle do exactly? Well, first and foremost, a dongle goes in a port. Right, so people could kind of insert...
Yes, it's been a while since I've put anything out. November of 2023 to be exact. And the last time Cleo and I recorded was in August of last year, before she went back to school. Talked about a whole bunch of my favorite modern horror movies on that episode. I had created a list that we went through, including Green Room, which we talked a lot about, which we need to watch again.
Yes, we do.
So we have, are we just sticking with the two? Or are we doing anything else? Or are we...
We can just stick with the two.
Okay.
The main attraction.
You have been, just to put a plug in there for people, the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast will be starting soon over on weirdingwaymedia.com with Chris Dashew, Mike White, and I as the hosts. So we have been watching most of those here as a family, including the latest one, which I don't believe will be released until September.
Oh, my Lord.
The Chasing Chevy Chase podcast starts this month in April, so keep your ears and eyes peeled for that, folks. And that was Modern Problems, which was pretty awful.
Yeah.
Folks can wait until September to listen to us rip that movie apart.
It's okay.
Of the Chevy Chase movies that we've watched, which ones have you enjoyed? That would be... Did you guys watch Seems Like Old Times with me? The one with him and Goldie Hawn, where he's...
Like a weird... What is he?
I think he did.
I was out there
mistaken.
with you.
He gets caught up in that bank robbery nonsense.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Under the Rainbow with me about the...
No.
Munchkins? No.
Mm-mm.
Watch Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Which is relevant to the discussion today, which I'll get to. People have heard this story, but I'll probably tell it again. I'm talking off microphone here. Sorry. Caddyshack. What else? Under the Rainbow. Modern Prom. I guess that was it. That's enough about Chevy Chase.
Wait, no, what was that? The one with the two dudes, and he was the doctor. What was that one?
The two dudes. Oh, Dirty Work.
Yeah, we watched that.
Yeah, that's a special episode of that podcast with Norm Macdonald. Pretty funny. That was not the worst of the ones that we have watched. You don't want to talk about Poor Things?
No, I liked Poor Things, but I really want to talk about the other two movies.
Yes, we let our 16-year-old daughter watch Poor Things. You can send your mail. You can send your mail to someone who cares.
I loved that. That was a really fun movie. I really loved the costumes in that movie, and also Emma Stone because it's Emma Stone.
Yeah, she was good. And his next movie with her and Willem Dafoe is coming out in a few months. Kind of surprised that one is coming so quick on the heels. Yeah. This wasn't my favorite Yorgos Lanthimos movie. I think Killing of a Sacred Deer is still my favorite of his that I've seen. But they're all very interesting.
I've only seen Poor Things, but I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely watch the other ones now. They're no worse than that. Dogtooth is very brutal and upsetting, but it's very interesting as well. Okay, so I guess we're sticking to two, and these were watched in this last week. It was spring break here for us. We watched a camp slasher and a camp, quote unquote, other camp classic in a way.
Yeah.
Per your request. So what was that film?
Sleepaway Camp? Yes, I did.
Sleepaway Camp. You won't be coming home.
And why did you pick it? You mentioned you had seen something.
I had seen the stupid baseball scene where they all have crop tops and jean shorts on. And they're all really mean to each other.
It's kind of a memeable moment in that film. There's quite a few memeable moments in that film.
White.
Did you know anything about the twist ending?
I had seen her face, and that's it.
Yeah, that's memeable as well.
Yeah. I've only ever seen the face, so I knew that.
But did you know that it had to do with gender identity?
I don't think so.
So spoilers ahead for Sleepaway Camp if you haven't seen it.
For an old movie.
It has one of the most shocking and surprising endings. I think it's one of the saving graces of the film, because otherwise it's not very good. I don't know if you agree with that.
Well, you called it
an
camp,
odd one.
So yeah.
It is definitely an odd one. I've talked about it briefly on my show before when I did a slasher series. I don't think I spotlighted this movie, but I know I talked about it a little bit because of its odd nature and how it's very mean-spirited throughout. Like, everybody's awful. There's a pedophile that gets scalded to death.
Yeah.
A pot that's taller than him, practically the tallest pot in film history, full of hot boiling water.
Well, not yet corn. Almost.
Yeah, and corn. And the weird thing going on between the young
my God,
counselor and the head of the camp. I've never understood that.
And what was his name? Mel?
Yeah, Meg and Mel. Hey, that's kind of perfect. And he beats the crap out of Angela's cousin, and it's just a weird...
Ricky. He beats the crap out of him. It's
almost to death.
Crazy.
Actual kids are killed in this one.
It's not just the teens. And they're not even really teens. They're like 13. They're pretty
they're pretty young. I guess...
Well, some of... Like, Meg is older. But Angela is pretty young.
Yeah.
And so is
a lot of the boys, though, like during that the infamous baseball game, are older. I guess they're counselors, though, maybe. I don't know. I think they're...
Well, that one dude wearing the Speedo shorts is a counselor.
Yeah, the big guy, the muscular guy. The only...
He just appears in the movie.
Sympathetic character in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Or empathetic character, I should say.
Yeah. Because he's like,
the rest of them are turds. Pretty much everybody's a turd in that movie.
It's a perfect word to describe that.
Yeah, but that ending is, if you don't know anything about it and you catch that for the first time, it's quite shocking. This gender swap thing that her aunt has forced her into, or him into.
Yeah. Also the aunt.
Yeah, the crazy aunt, and she's part of the campy aspect of the film. The progressiveness of the opening with having two dads. I mean, from 1983.
Two dads. And then they immediately kill one of them.
Yeah, I think I miss what happens to the other dad, but he goes crazy or something.
Oh,
did they mention it? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think, maybe, because she doesn't end up with him. But also, I don't think they were like legal guardians, so of course she wouldn't end up with him.
True.
Because it's still the 80s.
And we don't find out until the end that the little girl in the family was the kid that was killed in this boating accident, and the crazy aunt forces him,
Peter,
to be Angela.
She always wanted
at
a
the
little
end
girl.
There is an infamous reveal of a full frontal naked man in this Angela mask, that rigged scream. I'm not sure why they chose that as the thing to make a mask. It's a pretty convincing mask, though. That is a mask on him.
It's a really good mask
At the end there, and it's
pretty
nightmarish.
Visceral, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say, look at, like, remembering the rest of the movie, the aunt at the beginning talks about, like, don't tell anyone where you got your physicals. Don't tell anyone where you got your physicals. Of course, she's not going to have these, at least Angela, go to an actual doctor.
Right.
Because it's not Angela.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, like, remembered that she did the physicals herself for the two kids for camp.
Oh, yeah. I missed that part.
So, suspicious already. Again, looking back on it, like, when she's... What's his name? Paul? The kid that she likes, Angela likes.
Yeah. Sort of nice.
Sort of nice. He gets a little funky.
Yeah. He doesn't treat her all that well either.
No. When he's on top of her kissing her, she has that flashback to her two dads kissing, which is also a, like, hint, I guess.
Mm-hmm. True.
But that was also an interesting... Because just watching that, you're like, why the hell did they put a flashback like that there? That's so weird.
And her brother sitting on the bed, and the brother is pointing at her, and which I think, out of context of knowing the end of the film, wouldn't really maybe clue you in just yet.
Yeah.
So this is why she's so... I'm not going to call her strange. She's just really reserved and shy.
Yeah. Also, like, isn't it...
And traumatized.
Yeah. Isn't the camp literally where... Or, like, a similar lake where her family died?
Yeah, I was trying to piece that together.
Is it the same place?
Well, because at the beginning they show the camp. I feel like they're showing the camp almost after the fact of what has happened.
Okay.
With her, and then...
Because this is for sale on Camp Arawak. Or whatever.
And there's a sheriff's sign on the gate, and...
Yeah, okay.
That feels to me like afterwards. And then we flash forward to them on the lake. Is it the same lake? I'm not sure if that's what we're supposed to get from that. I was a little confused. It's very possible.
Either way, it's still a lake, and that's where she's going. What was I going to say? Also, the kills in this movie, like you're talking about the giant pot. The kills were fun. The snake coming out of that kid's mouth.
Oh, yeah. That was that was also a convincing dummy head, to be honest.
Yeah. That little, and then it just slithers out.
A little tiny garter snake crawls out of his mouth.
Gnarly.
The bees, although that didn't look like a bee's nest to me. Just to be anal about stuff. It looked more like a wasp's nest, but anyway.
Because once the buzzing started, I was like, oh, they put bees in that stall or whatever. But when just looking at it, you're like, so what was that supposed to be?
It's a little clunky, but then the reveal of the body is pretty well done. Gruesome makeup, and like one of the bees actually crawls out of a hole in his arm.
Oh, I don't think I noticed that. That's disgusting.
If they used Caro syrup and food coloring like most low-budget horror movies, it would make sense that bees would be swarming and digging into it. So
yeah. Ew, no. Gross. The Meg kill also, which I want to talk about because she gets killed on the side of the shower.
Right.
She should have fallen to the other side of the shower, but when Mel comes in there, she falls facing forward.
Sure.
Like this. So she twisted a little bit when she died, but that stab through the back of the shower is pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Ow. Who else dies? Judy. That one was weird. Okay.
That's when your mom got home.
Yeah. And she was like, us.
Curling her hair in the dark in the cabin.
Which also,
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
well, it's to set up the kill.
Yeah.
The hot curling iron kill. We won't discuss where that ends up.
Yeah. And then...
Well, Paul.
In his head.
Yeah, disturbing. It's disturbing.
It was a fun little movie, though. A fun little watch. Because of how weird it was. Like...
Have we watched many more of the... I know we've watched the first 4 Friday the 13th films, but have we watched any other camp slasher films other than Fear Street?
Yeah, second Fear Street movie. I know. They should bring that genre back because it's funny. Camp horror movie.
Oh, I'm sure there's a few recent modern ones that are out there that probably aren't very good.
Yeah.
I should look back on my list. Like The Burning is kind of interesting. Shoot, I need to look at my list again to see. There's a couple fun ones out there.
Yeah. But I don't know if we've watched, we watched the Friday the 13th movies. I don't know if there's really any other ones other than this and Fear Street.
There's a ton out there. Ton of Friday the 13th ripoffs.
Of course.
All right. Anything more about Sleepaway Camp? Beside the awesome credits song at the end?
Oh, also, yeah. The credits.
Angie.
What they called the Angelus theme, but I was just like, okay, what is this?
It was pretty bad.
Jeez. That was a fun movie. I'd probably rewatch that.
I don't want to let you go. I don't want to let them know. Pain you have to hide. I know it's all a big charade. Whoa, I know you're not afraid. No.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind the scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
Let's hit the big Cleo finally watched movie here. So
yeah, Dad forced me to watch further. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so we talked about this briefly back on that back to school episode in August.
Mm-hmm.
This is a movie that I have jokingly suggested anytime you or Mom are like, well, let's watch something funny. And I'm like, well,
we could watch
the Blues Brothers is on DVR. You would always kind of poo-poo it.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, you would. We never watched it. I seriously and unseriously suggested it numerous times over the last couple of years.
Numerous. Oh, what?
Back in August when I was taking you to Auntie's house during the summer, one of those days, Rubber Biscuit came on.
Of course.
Rubber Biscuit.
And you were tickled by that song.
Heck yeah.
And that was the first indication that you gave that you might be interested in watching the movie, but I had to say, sorry, it's not in the movie.
And then I got sad.
Yeah. So it took another 7 months before we finally watched it. I talked about it a couple weeks ago or something, and then at the beginning of your spring break, I mentioned, well, maybe now, maybe we'll watch it this week.
Yeah.
And we did. We watched it the day before my birthday, so that was a little early birthday gift.
There you go. I'm so smart.
So even without Rubber Biscuit being a part of the soundtrack, what did you think of the Blues Brothers?
Very silly and funny. I liked it. I liked the gags in it. And Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher, yeah.
Of course.
It's one of those, I hate to say it because I know that there are plenty of women out there that enjoy the film, but it's kind of a dude movie. And I say that because it was written by juvenile men.
Dudes.
And has maybe 2-3 female characters in it. None of which interact. It does not pass the Bechdel test because none of these women interact with each other or have a conversation outside of the interest of the male leads.
Yep.
Carrie Fisher is basically a cipher until the end of the movie. Twiggy's in it for a hot second as a cameo, and Aretha Franklin just gets to sing a song. And that's it for female characters.
Oh, and then the nun.
Oh, yeah, and the penguin. Sister Mary Stigmata, I think, is her name.
She was a fun little bit there where the door opens and closes.
It saddens and hurts me that the 2 young men whom I raised to believe in the 10 Commandments have returned to me as 2 thieves with filthy mouths and bad attitudes.
Yeah, it gives that first indication that yeah, we're in the real world, but
are we really?
Unrealistic things happen throughout this movie, and I like how they're just sprinkled throughout, mostly in regard to them.
Yeah.
But there's cartoon violence sprinkled throughout that's ridiculous, but it works. For some reason, and maybe it's just me having grown up with the movie, it doesn't seem out of place. The opening with her, or the first scene outside of the prison when he gets out, that long extended credit sequence, which I love as well. And they go and visit her at the orphanage that they grew up in. And she's floating back and forth from the door. The doors open and close on their own. So she has powers because she's a nun.
She also beats them.
Beats them mercilessly because they're swearing.
That was silly. Also the scary Jesus
the crucifix right outside her door and the one inside her room.
Yep.
Great setup for the rest of the film.
Yeah. It's a good little intro because then, yeah, like you said, it's just real world, but also there's a lot going on that's not necessarily real. Well, also, like when we were first introduced to Carrie Fisher, doesn't she pull like the rocket launcher out? Or that's a little later, but for her first weapon, she just like pulls it out of the back of her car and immediately gets ready. So like it's just kind of random stuff. Like that could realistically happen, but also just her being so casual about it is funny.
Them just walking away unscathed, brushing off the dust. That's the first time she's there, and then shortly thereafter is that really great
building
scene where she destroys the building, which
get it totally.
Up until a couple years ago, finding out how they did that, I was like, did they actually destroy like a condemned building? It's surrounded by all this other stuff, so it's a really interesting. It's part miniature, part matte painting, part
interesting.
Yeah, all this stuff. So if you look at it really hard or pause through it, if you have it on Blu-ray or something, you can kind of see the edges of things, but it's done so convincingly. And then the edit to the building collapse. I mean, the building collapsing itself is
insane. Also.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actual people falling through holes in the floor.
When he falls down through it, when it explodes, so funny.
It's really convincing. You know, one of the reasons it cost so much money back then in 1980, one of the most expensive films back then. 27 million is nothing these days, but a heck of a lot for a non-adventure film or big sci-fi epic or something like that.
Yeah, because when we finally got to that, the police car chase at the end, I was like, so how expensive was this movie? Because they're just crushing these cars.
Yeah.
They're just crushing these cars.
the rumor is that about half of the budget was spent on cocaine. So,
oh yeah,
I remember reading about that way back.
That's
when the
really
movie first
funny.
came out.
That checks out. The songs were really fun.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the music. What did you think of the music?
I liked it. Which one was it? Oh, the one where they're all inside the pawn shop or whatever it was, doing music, but outside there's a giant flash mob, which was funny because I said that word because that was an answer on Jeopardy the same night.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a flash mob outside. And then it was, what is this? And the answer was flash mob. But that song was fun.
And that goes a little bit to the unrealistic elements of the film where it's very possible that they would sit in there and jam away, but that everybody else in the neighborhood would perform a perfect choreographed dance. But that's that's the musical aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
All the music makes sense in context of the film, but some of the stuff that happens around it is of that, people break out in song and musicals and perform dances and musical numbers. And this is one of the few times that happens in the film. This and the Aretha Franklin scene.
Yeah, with the three girls, her backup singers. Also, I'm going back and forth, but the scene where they're in the restaurant and he's like, "Sell me your children," or whatever he says. That's so awful.
Like at that Ben Mankiewicz at the opening, he says something like, "The plot, such as it is them trying to get this money to save the orphanage they grew up in, and the rest is just kind of
there. It's there too.
Fun scenes, little vignettes throughout, and some movies that do that don't work very well, but this one to me works perfectly.
They're going on a little journey, so it still makes sense.
It is a little bit like an Odyssey.
Yeah, definitely.
All those vignettes, except maybe for when they get the majority of the band at the Holiday Inn, isn't really, there's no gags or anything really all that funny there, except for the song that they're singing.
Oh, wait, was that at the Holiday Inn when they get blown up in the phone booth? Was that at the Holiday Inn or is that somewhere else? Because they shoot up in the air and then splat.
When they go back to it's not then when they find those. Maybe it is. Gosh, now I'm confused. I'm not sure. With the flamethrower, and
next to the propane
the
thing.
phone booth just skyrockets into the air and comes crashing down.
No, because that's when they go back because they're trying to get gas, I'm pretty sure. And they're like, we're going to be late or whatever. And then they get blown up. No, but I love that because they're like, back in the restaurant, they're like, we want to move from these people. And then he like scoots his chair on over and he's like, sell me your kids. I don't even know what he says. It's just so awful.
He says, how much for the women? Sell me your children.
How much for the little girl? The women. How much for the women? What? Your women. I want to buy your women, the little girl, your daughters. Sell them to me. Sell me your children.
With Pee Wee Herman or Paul Rubens as one of the waiters. Yeah.
And he's like 12.
See, in the book, which I'm trying to find a decently priced copy of because I would like to reread it again, they have to find each member of the band.
Mm-hmm. They're all spread out.
They're not all at the Holiday Inn, or there's like 3/4 of them are at the Holiday Inn in the movie. Not in the book. I think only Murph is there at the Holiday Inn, and they have to go. So it's much more extended bits throughout, and that's one of the things about Dan Aykroyd. He writes these really long, involved scripts that have to be trimmed down. Same with Ghostbusters, same with a bunch of other movies of his. But the novelization basically takes that full 300-page script and just transcribes it. And I remember, because I read the book before I saw the movie, I remember being disappointed that we didn't get all of the quests to get each band member. Because they're fun. Like the restaurant scene is fun.
Yeah, the restaurant scene's fun.
Tossing shrimp into his mouth or each other's mouths. The interaction with that family, the Snooty family.
Yeah. I've always liked stories like that where it's just like on a bunch of trips to go and do something.
It's like the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou and some of the other Coen Brothers movies where they use the Odyssey as the inspiration and
Always a fun. I loved reading that.
It's kind of a road movie type of situation.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the car half the movie, so.
Another definitely not similar to Blues Brothers, but like another kind of on the road movie is Little Miss Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
They have little quests,
right?
Which I love that movie. I like movies like that, so it was fun that it was like that.
I do too.
Yeah,
they have a goal that they need to reach, and the getting there is part of the fun. What about the scene at the church with the Reverend Cleophas?
Don't be lost when the time comes. For the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night.
Oh, hell yeah. Where I found that one white lady in the background.
In the choir.
Yeah. I was like, there's a white chick back there.
There's a blonde lady in the corner who I've never noticed before.
She's in the very back corner.
Back right-hand corner of the screen for anyone that wants to spot her the next time they watch it.
And I nicknamed her Susie. That scene was fun because I was literally like, oh, he's so sweaty. It wasn't even doing that much.
Hello, welcome to James Brown world.
Yes. And then everyone just started doing flips.
I'm like, you got to watch this because they're going to start flying.
Yeah, the trampoline stuff. Well, I mean, you can't see it, but it's a trampoline trick.
No, it's great.
I love that. It was so fun.
It starts to raise that level of, we're not just in reality here, but it's great. I love that. I love that whole dance. They're so well choreographed and well shot and well edited.
Yeah.
How they get all that stuff to match so well is amazing to me. But that scene especially, and it's not as difficult in the Ray Charles scene with the people outside, but it's the same kind of idea where they're cutting back and forth between them playing and the people dancing outside. And even more so are the car chases.
Yeah, the car chases.
And that first one in the mall. This is all happening. So we go from him getting out of jail, going back to the orphanage. From the orphanage, they go straight to the church. And I'm sure there's scenes that were removed or cut out. I know there are. And then the mall chase. They're not even back home yet.
It's literally like Elwood has so many driving things. So he's immediately recognized on, what do they call it?
Scmods.
Yeah, the database thing.
I bet those cops have got Scmods.
Scmods? State, county, municipal offender data system.
And then it's immediately like, oh, we're on the move into a mall and taking out the people in that mall. I mean, I know there are probably there's just people in there. Yeah, some people.
That initial crash through the Toys R Us is pretty that somebody gets hit a little bit, at least.
Yeah, there's no way.
I believe it was an empty mall that was
like
either going to be destroyed or something, but they redressed it to look like it was an operating mall. And again, though, the continuity, and they're driving and they're like, oh, Pier 1 Imports. And then you see a shot of them driving past Pier 1 Imports. And it's just amazing. I love the music in that scene. I love the way it's shot and edited. It's just great.
The continuity, like, oh, Pier 1 Imports. We're next to Pier 1 Imports now.
Yeah, they mention a burger place. They talk about the cars. The new Oldsmobiles are in early. All this stuff.
This place has got everything.
And just total destruction. And it's fun to watch places get destroyed like that.
It's fun. When it's in movies, like it's a superhero movie and they destroy the whole town, boo. But when it's, let's drive through a mall.
Totally agree. Because those are like realistic, and that's what, like the first Avengers movie. I'm like, all these people are dying in these buildings for this superhero movie. This is awful.
Yeah, I don't like movies like that. But when it's just and you can see the people jumping out of the way, like in the mall. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, nobody got hurt.
Yeah, they're totally chill. It's fine. Oh, also, is that at the end? No. That's at the beginning, where they jump over the bridge, where it's opening.
That's right after he picks him up, because Jake, played by John Belushi, is upset that he got picked up in a cop car. Right, a little unrealistic again, but that's okay. Suspend disbelief a little bit and enjoy the gag. They've got a magical car.
That car lasts them the whole movie, and then it just, in that one scene at the end, it just falls apart.
I love how it pops. Everything just pops out.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Doors pop off. Everything falls off.
There's little just like pieces that come off.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
No, I love the mall scene. So funny. Oh, John Candy looks so scary in this movie.
I don't know when I realized, because I'm sure the first time I saw it, which would have been on TV, within a year or two after it had played in the theaters, I might not have even known who he was at the time.
He looks very strange. It's just because he's blonde.
Yeah, and his hair is longer than you usually see it.
Yeah, long and like very put together.
And you don't usually see him as a bad guy. I mean, he's kind of a bad guy in this.
Yeah.
Because the Elwood brothers, the Blues Brothers, are the innocents.
Yeah.
Even though they're lawbreakers and they're maybe not good people, there's something that's childlike about them.
Yeah. But they're also doing it for a good cause. It's an orphanage.
They're trying to save an orphanage, for Pete's sake, guys.
Yeah. Speaking of bad guys, the Nazis. There's Nazis in this movie.
And they get treated with the respect that Nazis deserve.
No, literally. Right. Because they keep run off. Everyone's like yelling at them, screaming at them, flipping them off. And then they're just like,
do any good. That's not how you don't yell at Nazis. You try and run them over.
You run them over. You run Nazis over. That's the solution to problems.
I hate Illinois Nazis.
Yeah.
So we've got not only their quest, but now we have a bunch of adversaries.
Yeah.
We've got the cops. We've got
Carrie Fisher,
the Nazis, and the good old boys.
Yeah.
From their stint at Bob's Country Bunker.
That seems funny too. They sing their like own music at first, and they're like, no,
their theme that they kind of play at the beginning of their shows, and that's why they find out very quickly why the chicken wire is there.
Yeah. Which
apparently, whether you're good or bad, it's good that the chicken wire is there. So
no, because once it got to the like, oh, they like this music, they're still chucking glass bottles at them.
Yeah. That's what you do. Good or bad, you throw bottles.
Of course, you throw bottles at your favorite. But I loved that.
Another great scene.
And then when they're singing the love song and everyone's cuddling, and then I cut to that one guy who's just like, man.
Crying into his beer. Literally crying in his beer, as they say.
Poor dude.
And then the leader of the country band is our friend from Silence of the Lambs, Charles Napier. And we've got a little chase scene there. Not as convoluted or crazy as the other ones.
Oh, but isn't that when the cops go into the...
The cops get involved again. No, that they don't go into the truck. That's at the end.
They hit the trailer, though.
They hit the trailer, take out the trailer, and then pull their guns on the rednecks.
Yeah.
Who are also racist, by the way.
Oh.
Anti-Semitic, at least.
Oh, well, there you go. See, I think...
The Blues Brothers are fighting the good fight against bigotry. Yeah, racism, cops.
Cops. Dude, that one scene where... Is it where they cut to John Candy and there's the pig cop statue on his desk?
I think it's a piggy bank, actually.
Silly.
Just a little, on the nose gag there that I love. Yeah, that was one of the pictures, and the novelization has a bunch of, 8 pages of pictures or whatever. And I always remember seeing that picture before I ever saw the movie and just laughing at it.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
A cab.
Yeah. And then they're also being chased by Carrie Fisher, who is Jake
jilted, left at the altar. Another movie trope. Or
how could you leave Carrie Fisher at the altar? What the hell?
He's a heel. He is a heel. Elwood's the innocent, and Jake is kind of the heel. But
Carrie Fisher got left at the altar.
Curl up and die.
She finally gets up to them. And he takes off his glasses.
He uses his masculine wiles, I guess, to
his charm,
get out of
his
it.
Eyes.
First time his glasses come off.
And then he kind of just pushes her in the mud and they leave.
Kind of.
What the hell?
Kind of does. I mean, he does. That's one of the funny things about the film is that they never take their sunglasses off. But there is one of the extra scenes in the longer version. And I believe this was the one that was shown on TV. They actually show Elwood go to his job. He's not wearing his sunglasses then, which I believe is why they probably cut it out of the theatrical version, because you don't want to see that yet. You don't want to see them without their sunglasses. That's part of their mystique.
Yeah.
Which they mention at the end with that famous line that they say when they're getting ready to head back to Chicago.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
We mentioned Twiggy, and you're like, I think you had been scrolling through IMDb.
IMDb, yeah. Twiggy's in this?
And I'm like, kind of.
Oh, but Twiggy, I don't think I've ever seen her with long hair like that, which is kind of funny.
She was very famous for her short hair in the 60s.
Her whole aesthetic. But I was like, Twiggy's in this.
Kind of.
That was fun.
Why it's Twiggy, I don't know. Why I don't know what the relationship is with any of the people involved in the film.
Like, okay, Carrie Fisher made sense.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher makes sense. Frank Oz makes sense. Steven Spielberg makes sense.
Yeah, he's at the...
the other cameos are either music related or they're friends of John Landis or a part of that Saturday Night Live thing. She hosted Saturday Night Live. She was friends with, I think her and Dan Aykroyd dated.
Yeah.
A lot of it makes sense. Twiggy, I don't know what the connection is.
I would like to look into that, because just like, well, I know Twiggy because of like fashion stuff, so it was just like, what? Why is Twiggy in this? But it was kind of sad that she went to their little meetup and then he didn't get to go.
He didn't get to go.
No, Twiggy.
So that always kind of makes me laugh at the end. It's like, she actually went.
Yeah, she went.
He missed his chance. And he charges her $95 for gas. Or $94, and she gives him $95.
There you go.
There's been a big tank in that little car. Because gas was probably 50 cents a gallon back then.
Oh my God, yeah.
Maybe $1. Maybe $1 in 1980.
The end where all of the cops, troopers, etc. are all just making noises as they fall.
SWAT team.
So dumb. So dumb. They're like going up the building and it's just the one guy and it's just him doing it. And then they cut to the wide shot and then you just get all of the...
That's comedy timing right there.
Yeah, hell yeah. Perfect. That
whole extended chase scene at the end is just brilliantly shot and edited and choreographed, and the stunts are amazing. And I don't know how many cars they destroyed, but
it looked like so many. And then the whole like the Nazis going flying and then like confessing their love or whatever, and then sinking into the ground.
It's just funny how high up in the air they are.
They go so high.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever that they're that high up in the air. After that,
not at all.
Jump off the bridge, the under construction or overpass, I guess, actually.
Yeah, the overpass, yeah. And they go flying, and then it's just up in the air. Like, why are they so high up?
Yeah, anybody that actually wants, like, details and stuff, go listen to the Projection Booth podcast on the Blues Brothers, and John Landis gets into all of that. He's interviewed for that episode, and they had to make sure that it would actually float down that way and, not flip and fly into the city or whatever. So,
yeah.
Yeah, and then it just lands in the middle of the street and the other Nazi car squashes it.
Perfect. And then just the little gags, too, where it cuts to what's-his-face putting the poster up and it's upside down.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's so funny.
It's awful, but also...
And he shoots at the little kid, and...
Yeah, the little kid, he just straight... Good Lord. Or, like, when they cut to the Nazis and he's painting the, like, golden... The
eagle.
Bird's golden, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he just popped up on something else when we were flipping through the channels yesterday. I'm like, oh, hey, it's the Illinois Nazi.
Yeah, what?
Was it Biodome?
Yeah, it was something. And then speaking of that, there was the other guy in the background, which was that Raising Arizona that he's in?
Mm-mm.
Not
he's in
Arizona?
Fargo. He's the disgruntled car buyer in Fargo that that William H. Macy has put the True Coat on his car without his permission.
See, they install that True Coat at the factory. There's nothing we can do. But I'll talk to my boss.
These guys here, these guys, it's always the same. It's always more.
Yeah, he was in that, and he was in something else we were watching the other night as an older person.
Can't remember what it.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Murder, She Wrote.
No, it was another movie or something.
That was a different person. We've seen a lot of people in the past few days. There's a lot of.
Yeah, this happens. This is it's part of what's been going on in my head. It's like I need to cut back on trying to place who everybody is in movies.
I don't know anymore. Yeah, you said you had a Caddyshack tie-in earlier.
I've told this story on a number of different podcasts
But have I heard it?
In the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast, when we talk about Caddyshack, I mentioned this, and I've probably mentioned it numerous times when I talk about the Blues Brothers on here.
Yeah.
That was the big choice of the summer of 1980 for me and your Aunt Julie. It was between Caddyshack and this as our first rated R movies to go see, and we picked Caddyshack, and we should have picked this.
Yeah.
A part of the reason is it would have been a little less uncomfortable watching this with Nana in the theater because it's rated R. I'm glad it's rated R because if they had edited it for PG, it would have meant cutting out the language and really.
Yeah, the language is funny.
That scene with the penguin when he's cussing a lot. The TV edit is awful because it's all ADR'd with stupid, non-cuss words.
ADR, the worst.
But there's only a couple of other swear words in the movie. There's no nudity. There's no sex, really. Maybe some innuendo here and there.
Alcohol and not even alcohol. It's just them cursing.
It's a very innocent, childlike, cartoony action comedy.
But we get to curse.
But I'm glad that it's not. They didn't cut some of those out to get a PG rating to get a bigger box office because a lot more people would have been able to see it if it had been PG.
They got a big box office.
Because the stuff that is in there
it's funny.
Makes it adult enough to okay, this is fun.
Yeah, that's funny.
That would have gone over, I think, much better with your Nana than Caddyshack. Because Caddyshack's pretty raunchy.
Yeah.
Much more so than this.
Out of all the movies we've watched, definitely not for Caddyshack, but compared to this one, yes.
For a rated R movie, it's pretty tame, to be honest. And a whole heck of a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
It depends on what I've seen most recently, but I think between this and Young Frankenstein, they're my top 2 favorite comedies of all time.
I love Young Frankenstein.
I could watch either one if I catch it on TV daily. Or whatever.
They're so
I'll stop and watch it. That's why you've seen bits and pieces of this, because when it plays, I'll sit there and watch it until you guys come home and make me change it.
Oh, yeah. Young Frankenstein is always. I like that movie.
It's another classic that doesn't get old.
No, yeah.
Anything else about Blues Brothers?
I think, we could just dissect the whole movie, but I think that's it.
Once they finally get to the concert and I enjoy the music and the concert footage as well a lot, but
that's the end.
We get back into it right after that with the extended chase scene. And I still am curious though as to that fade out.
Yeah.
They're going and the music playing and then it fades out and it's now light out, which is fine it's just an odd transition.
That fade happens a few times in the movie, actually, and it's just kind of a weird transition.
I think that's where deleted scenes are or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites. And
it was very fun to watch.
I don't know how many times I've watched it over the last few years, but it's a lot. And now you've finally watched it.
Yay!
And even without Rubber Biscuit, it was enjoyable.
Yes, very. Yay!
The other day, I had a ricochet biscuit. A ricochet biscuit is the kind of a biscuit that's supposed to bounce back off the wall into your mouth. If it don't bounce back, you go hungry. Bow, bow, bow.
Any other movies or anything you want to mention before we...
Gosh, I have to look at our list again, what we watched.
Leave.
Oh, I finally watched Footloose for the first time, full fully. I'd only ever seen the last scene.
We watched Footloose because...
Which was very dorky. Flatliners was on.
Yeah, Flatliners was on. You and I finally watched The Dead Zone.
The ice is gonna break!
Yeah, sad Christopher Walken.
Sad, melancholy Christopher Walken. We watched Swiss Army Man as a family.
Yeah, that's what
somebody said something about watching something weird, and I'm like, well, we still haven't watched Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man.
Weird, but also very sad.
Yeah, when we were watching that, I was like, another movie we watched was Self-Reliance. I was like, these are kind of similar in a way. Sad Man.
And it took that turn that we feared was happening in Self-Reliance, which didn't.
Yeah.
Finally watched The Exorcist 3.
Yes. We watched Donnie Darko, which I really liked.
Donnie Darko, yeah.
I really liked that movie.
It's an interesting one. It's an odd one.
Yeah. Because I'd seen pictures of Frank before. Like, I knew he was, like, the main thing, I guess. But then it was like, actually, it's a wormhole. And actually... there's all of this other stuff, and I was literally like, what are we watching?
I always kind of forget about the, not twist, but the angle of that film. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. Now I get why this is all happening.
Yeah. And baby Jenna Malone was in that.
Watched all the recent Planet of the Apes films.
Yeah, those were good. I really liked those movies, especially the third one. The third one was fun.
Watched all that jazz.
Watched Lamb.
Harold and Maude.
Oh, I loved that. I made a reference to that when we were watching Blues Brothers. When they got pulled over, I was like, they got to Harold and Maude this. And you're like, it's better. And I was like, oh, God.
Oh, man. I love that scene in Harold and Maude.
Yeah,
with the motorcycle cop.
Yeah.
Always adjusting his pants.
That's it. Yeah. I just love that she takes everyone's cars.
Yeah. She's
goes to a funeral and takes her car. I love her. What else?
Yeah, you mentioned Lamb.
That was a good movie. That was sad. I loved that little. I remember when that movie came out and I just like saw the trailer and everyone was like, either, oh my God, she's so cute, or oh my God, it's a freak and I don't like it. And I was like, what? She's cute.
She's adorable.
She's Lamb mishmash, baby. You guys gotta be nice to her. That movie was depressing, but I liked it. Mostly because cute baby lamb child. Yep. Did she have a name? Was it Ada?
Yeah. Yep. Something like that. Ada or Ada.
However they pronounced it. Something.
I think it's
like
Ada.
That. And then we also watched Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, which is actually really cute.
This was the other movie in which Mark and Cleo saw actor Gary Houston, the True Coat guy.
These guys here? These guys?
Because I don't think I ever read that book. Or like
I didn't.
Book. But that was a good, like, it's just an enjoyable little movie.
Little coming of age film.
Yeah. Always nice.
For some reason, it kept making me think of The Holdovers. I don't know what it was. I guess maybe just the time period.
Time period and like kind of aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
And The Holdovers reminds me of Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think I said when we were watching it. Also because Cat Stevens' song plays in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like the same one, I'm pretty sure that's in.
Mm-hmm. I think
that's
so.
In Rushmore.
I think you're right. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. We watched good movies this time.
We did a while back. We watched, because you mentioned on the Back to School episode, the Hunger Games prequel, which we watched.
And I'm almost done with that book, which is also really good. Having a fun time with it. It's quite different from the book, from what I've read so far, but it still like holds up as a pretty good movie. It was fun to watch.
Alrighty, anything else?
Oh, we watched 13 Going on 30, and I saw a post the other day where it was like, there have been 2 movies where Mark Ruffalo falls in love with a girl who's in a woman's body but has a girl brain, and it's 13 Going on 30 and Poor Things.
Yeah, I think I saw something similar to that.
Utterly opposite movies. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, how do I react to this? Yeah. Why has this happened twice? But that was a good movie too. And also funny that it was both Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, weird.
Very strange. I think that's it.
Alrighty. Okay, well, sort of another back to school situation here because you go back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
After spring break.
Oh, I do have Monday off. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank God.
You can help me cut down more branches on Monday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Cleo's been helping me limb a tree in our front yard, and
yeah,
it's been a whole lot of fun. And I haven't gotten killed yet.
Yeah, so. Dad hasn't been killed, or he'll turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger halfway through.
Yeah, I carried the log. Commando. Yeah, that was awful. I might have to cut that. That was a horrible Arnold. Alrighty.
So funny
well,
that.
I reenacted a little scene from Commando with one of the larger limbs. If you've seen Commando, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, kiddo. And thanks everybody for listening and keeping in true fashion with repeating clips from that back to school episode. I think we'll roll out with Rubber Biscuit once again. So enjoy this classic Blues Brothers remake of a really interesting song.
Very.
And don't forget,
anything can happen when you wake up heavy. Ho, 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 ho. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the chicken walk. I hit it on the cheese of water. I hit it on the hill. Here, I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the shop. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Do that again. Bow, bow, bow. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I never, 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 never. Here, I hit it on the chicken water. I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Have you ever heard of a wish sandwich? A wish sandwich is the kind of a sandwich where you have 2 slices of bread and you wish you had some meat. Bow, bow, bow. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I never, never, never love it. Now, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the head of it. Here, mama, 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 mama. The other day, I had a ricochet biscuit. A ricochet biscuit is the kind of a biscuit that's supposed to bounce back off the wall into your mouth. If it don't bounce back, you go hungry. Bow, bow, bow. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Here, mama, 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 mama. Here, I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the chicken water. I hit it on the chicken water. I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the head of it. The other day, I had a cool water sandwich and a Sunday go to meeting bun. Bow, bow, bow. Here, I hit it on the head of water. I had a hit on the head of water. Here, mama, 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 mama. Here, I hit on the head of water. Hey, papa, boy, papa, papa, boy. Here, I hit on the head of water. 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 Here, on a hum, mama, shabba, here, mama, ha, baba, chica, here, on a hum, on a hit of water. Here, on a name, on a hum, on a here, on a hit on a hit of it. Here, on a hum, on a hit of water. Here, mama, ha, baba, shabba, baba. Here, on a hit on a chica, here, on a hit on a chica, here, on a hit on a hit of water. Here, mama, ha, baba, chica, what do you want for nothing? Rubber biscuit? Bow, bow.
Wake Up Heavy is a Weirding Way media podcast.
The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small, and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us, that's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family, and available wherever you get your podcasts.